Hey, practice owners, back for another edition of Coming Back Stronger. I think you're going to be excited you tuned in today. We have probably one of the most diverse individuals I know in dentistry, Dr. Robert Pick, Bob. He's the Purple Cow guy. He's a retreat guy. He is business management guy. Has this amazing story, and I think don't you play guitar?
Yes.
I see behind it you. And you've got some like you collect cars, or you just you have a couple neat old cars.
Wow, you very good. Yes, the story's way too long, but most people find it hard to believe. In another life, I was a certified auto mechanic, and with three partners for close to 24 years,
Oh
we
my God.
collected and restored original matching number Corvettes from 53 to 67. We all became official Corvette Restore Society judges, but time moves on and stuff pushed us away, and I ended up with two of them, a 56 and a 67, and I will die in those cars if I had to. They're just, oh my God. You know, talk about really quick to make somebody happy in a bad time. The weather's getting a little bit warmer.
Right.
So I took my 56 Corvette to the grocery store the other day. And as I came out, there was an elderly couple, a little tough to tell because of the masks, but they were standing near my car, and the guy was almost crying. And he goes, in all of this craziness, you made my day. You brought me back to high school with this car. And as time goes on, that's my biggest thrill, is the thrill it gives others. Wow.
And on top of that, you squeeze in dentistry, right? So you still practice.
Yeah, somewhat. When I go into something, it's like full blown, full on afterburners. Yeah, somewhere along the line, I practiced Monday to Thursday.
Well, that's all. And you bring a perspective, I think, that is healthy right now for practice owners. And I always tell people I use that term intentionally because I think in our world, we have competing mindsets. You have the dentist mindset, which is very protocol driven. We have all the information before we make a decision. And then there's your practice owner mindset, which has moved to the forefront right now. And I think dentists who are practice owners are learning, of which 86% of dentists own their practice. They're learning that, to make good business decisions, you have to have enough information. And then there's a time, there's a date where you have got to make a decision. So you better hope that you have enough. But the neat thing is you have time to adapt if it doesn't work out, or if you have time to enhance it and add to it if it does work out. So I always am I'm searching, it's baked into the DNA of the Profitable Dentist magazine, practice owners helping practice owners who all happen to be dentists. And so that's why I reached out to you. And, you cover, like I said, you cover a lot of ground. So if you're interested or willing, I'd like you to just spend a minute. I know if I said, describe yourself and how you got here, probably could take like days. But, sort of the executive summary version of who you are, how you got here, how you practice. And then you do a lot of things, retreats. I think we had talked earlier about some pretty smart things to be doing right now. SWOT analysis. I think there are a lot of practice owning dentists out there who have no idea what that is. And then I like the idea, I think it's important you explain the Purple Cow and what that means in terms of unique selling propositions and that sort of thing. So with that, who are you, Bob?
Oh, wow. I think you said I had till 3 in the morning. I now need till 4. No,
I know.
I'm simply Bob Pick. I was born December 11th, 1954. I sound like my parents with numbers like that. In a hospital in Chicago that doesn't exist anymore, which is kind of funny. And to make the story quick, because I want to get to stuff that can help my colleagues out. That's always been important to me, is helping others. It's where the Pick group came from. I like helping. I like helping people do better. And I never want anyone to make the mistakes that I made. I want them all to get there faster than they ever thought possible. And that came from so many of my mentors. I can hear them telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. I love helping. I like to see people accelerating, doing well. I was a terrible student through grammar school and high school. I still have, one of my colleagues goes, Pick doesn't have ADD. He's got ADHD, DHD, ADDD. And just ask my team. I can't sit still. It doesn't work. But I figured out right away in college how to study because I wanted to be a dentist in sophomore year of high school. And I don't want to make the story too long, but just went brain dead on his name. But there's a business guy I follow. He's got a T-shirt that says 1.8 high school GPA. He's a multi-millionaire today. Can't think of his name. Came from Iran and was in the military. Does very, very well. Entrepreneur guy. Can't think of his name. But anyhow, I had a 1.9 grade point in high school. I beat him out by 1.8 to 1.9. But I left college with a 4.97 out of 4, the honors track. I decided, I figured out what to do. And I never thought I would tell the story today, but it's no different than in this downtime. Practice owners need to figure out, as I did, how to get around my ADD. Or all my friends went home from the library. I realized between about 11 at night and 3 in the morning, I settled down and that was my study time and I cranked it. So you got to figure out how to do it. And, I think my buddy David Moffat from Australia always says, Bob has a great backstory. And sorry, Dave, that's good at my imitation of you. And I want to tell it really quick because that backstory is very appropriate to what's happening right now. Because from adversity can come great things. And really quick, August 24th, 1998 is a day I'll never forget. I had a little bit of GI upset over the weekend. My girlfriend was, oh, you guys are all alike and all you do is complain. And I'm like, I'm telling you, something's wrong in my lower right quadrant. 5 in the morning in the shower, getting ready for work. I knew what went wrong. My appendix blew. I fell to the shower floor. And only a type A driver, I said to myself, I don't have time for this today. Had a busy day at the office, and I'm dying in pain on the shower floor. Paige, I've been honored to be on the medical and hospital staff at Northwestern, 85 maybe, and it's been a blessing. And Paige, one of my colleagues, went to the emergency room, took out my appendix, and in the recovery room, there's 7 of the general surgeons staring over me, and I know all of them because dentistry falls under the surgery department in the hospital. And one guy goes, I can't repeat what he said because there was a lot of bad words. And twice during this exchange, a nurse came over and goes, would you boys stop using the F word? There's patients up here. He goes, we went through your belly button to get your appendix and we couldn't find it. And I called Jerry Ujiki over. Jerry was the senior surgeon at the time. Jerry goes, dude, I keep opening you up. There's no appendix. And we knew it blew. Long story short, my appendix had burned into my inguinal canal. They had to put this big Penrose drain in. They're like, all right, you're out of here Thursday. Don't go back to work. Don't pull the drain out. They knew me too well. And Wednesday morning, you're out of here. But here's where adversity turned into something great. That Wednesday, August 26th at 5:05, I see 3 people walking down the hallway towards my room. And when I did, also did a master's in oral pathology. And I see 2 path chairmen coming down the hall with the surgeon. They walk in my room. They sit on my bed. I've never seen faces that serious. Ed Kaminsky, the co-path chairman, to imitate him, you got to have your glasses down on your nose. And he lost these 2 fingers in the war where the Polish resistance. And Bob, I have been given the honor to tell you something that is not good. And I can tell he's been crying. And he goes, you have a very aggressive adenocarcinoma of your appendix. We have never seen one. And because your appendix blew, we all think you have less than 6 months to live. I thought I was going to defecate my pants. It went from a joke to fear factor, severe cancer. You probably don't know anybody that had cancer of the appendix, only me. And next morning, I was back in surgery to take out part of my intestine, and I paged one of our GI guys, oncology GI guy, Al Benson, saved my butt. I said, I don't care what we do. We've both got funny mustaches and black hair. I'm on the ethics committee with you. I want to be on the ethics committee with you when I have gray hair and we're still on the ethics committee. I went through 14 months of experimental chemo radiation. Big deal. Here I am. Modification. It's what saves people today. 2 side effects got me about 6 years ago from the radiation. I got a little bit of weakness on my right side. I got a hearing aid the size of West Texas. The chemo got my cilia. But I realized life is really short. And when I realized I was going to get through this, never missed a day of work. I don't know how I did that. And chemo every Friday in the middle 3 radiation beads, never been done before, but had a will to live. I had a practice partnership, wasn't working, and people, this is where it's going to become important. And I appreciate you waiting a few seconds here for Bob's backstory. And great guy, great dentist, just wasn't for me. And I said, life is short, that's it. And I said, came in with my checkbook, bye. I don't care if you practice in the building, couldn't care less. Not worth it, life's too short. And when I started running the practice, I realized something you talk about. Dentists know nothing about business. And I found myself in that category. Our overhead was over 80%. I had no idea what I was doing. I was in panic zone. I hired a consultant till the day he dies. I cannot tell whose consultant I hired, signed a secrecy agreement because he didn't want to know that anybody knew that he had a consultant. I immersed myself in her systems for 18 months, told her I was going to take her systems, make it better, got her overhead down to 52%. I became a business nut. And we talked about this before we got rolling. As some of you may or may not know, way back in 1983, I was always taught a day a week. I literally pioneered lasers in dental surgery, dentistry, co-wrote the first textbook on the subject. It's in a bunch of different languages. But I left lasers a long time ago, about 97, for ethical reasons. Best thing it did was put me on the lecture circuit as a young punk, put me face to face with leaders at the dentistry at the time that taught me so much. Not time to really talk about it here, but Pete Dawson taught me DISC, knowing how to work with each patient, the preclinical interview that can lead to 100% treatment acceptance. It's unbelievable. But I realized when lasers got rolling, there were people that would bring me to Fortune 500 companies to talk about, should we get into the laser business? I never forget meeting Jack Welch at GE. They wanted to get into dental lasers. They didn't do it, but I started grabbing these agendas. And from that, and from the consultant came the PBR, Pick Business Team Building Retreat. And I said to my team at the time, and team is you. There's a picture of my practice team behind me. 2 of them are part of the PIC group. And I said, we're going away for a day, away from the office where there's no disturbance of the phone, no nothing. We're going to run out a conference room, have breakfast, lunch, and we're going to start doing what every Fortune 500 company does.
Right.
Steve Jobs had a great quote: imitate those that are successful, put your own spin on it, and crank it. I decided I wanted to be a Fortune 500 dental business, people, not practice. Dental business. You're in business. And I always talk about there's 4 things you got to do. First off, ethics all the way. You always got to do what's right for the patient with the right procedure, no pain, a great team. So getting that out of the way, ethics. You're wearing a CEO hat most of the time, whether you like it or not. And unfortunately, in our profession, we're in the chair most of the day, and we have to delegate. And that's another word that dentists don't do well, is delegate. Get the right people and delegate to them. You can't do it all. And, you know, when I coach and we call in office and I hear the dentist's voice on the machine, it's actually one of my pet peeves. You should have a great friendly voice. You don't call Amazon and, hi, it's Jeff Bezos. Thanks for calling Amazon today. Stop being control freaks. And so we started doing the retreat, and we did it 6 months later, and it became a staple for my own practice. They're now 2-day retreats twice a year that could almost turn into 3 days. We get excited, we get adrenaline flowing, and that PBR if I can extend for a second,
Yeah.
is huge. And this is a great time. Most practices have never done one. We talked about a SWAT, something that I feel every office should be doing is doing a Zoom conference. Plus, I have stock in Zoom, so if you do it, my stock will go up a bit.
Right.
But not really. But Zoom is awesome.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to use it, it's so easy to do.
Mhm.
And right now, Zoom is so awesome. For the free one, they've extended it beyond 40 minutes right now during COVID-19. So you
Okay.
could stay on for a very long time. Peeps, dental peeps, you can set Zoom up in 2 seconds. You don't know how to do it, delegate it to somebody who knows how to do it. Set up a time frame. Every 3 to 5 days, you should be meeting with your team. This is the time to plan now, not when you get back. If you start planning when you get back, which is what a lot of people will do, you're racing up behind the 8 ball. You got to be so far ahead of that 8 ball that you can't see it. Blow your team away. And, maybe we can put a link to the article, the PBR,
Mhm. Yeah.
and read the article. But here's what you got to do. Blow your team away. Say, you know what? We're going to do 4, 5, 1-hour meetings. I'm going to pay you guys for that hour. We're going to do a pick business team building retreat. And we're going to start with all the things we need to do. And begin with, first off, most offices don't have a mission statement, a vision statement, a culture statement. Here's a great funny story. Not too long ago, I was lecturing up at the Kohler facility in Wisconsin, Kohler faucets. And above in the men's room, above all the urinals, not to sound gross, was a frame with the Kohler mission statement and vision statement. That's how important it is to them. And I said later on to somebody in the ladies' room, before I could finish the sentence, my EA, Diana, goes, yep, it was there as well in the bathroom when you close the stall, the mission vision. That's how important it is to Kohler. Is Kohler successful? You bet. So I'd be willing to bet a lot of dentists don't have a mission statement, a vision statement, or a corporate culture. You're in business, dental peeps, corporate culture, what's it about? So on the first Zoom meeting, figure out your mission statement, your vision statement, your culture statement, and do something that the great Simon Sinek figured out. He has one of the 20 most viewed TED Talks. Why do you do what you do?
Right.
Why? And listen to your team. When I coach, I see so many dentists try to be control freaks. They'll cut people off. Listen to your team. Even if they're telling you something whacked out, listen. It's one of my weaknesses, sort of, but I've learned to listen. And so listen to what they say. So do a mission, vision, culture statement. Figure out your why. Then come to the next one. And do something right away, which is huge. It's called a business SWOT, peeps. Remember, you're in business. Not a police SWAT, a business SWOT. SWOT. S stands for strengths. Have somebody, when we do it in a conference room, we have a big white sticky sheet. So somebody takes a white piece of paper, writes strengths on the top. Let's say you got 5 team members. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do a round robin. What are our strengths? She'll give me strength number 1. Sonia give me strength number 2. Write them down. Strengths come from inside, and they're important. They're good. So figure out your strengths. And actually, how can you make them stronger? Strengthening your strengths puts muscle. Then 2, W stands for weaknesses. Weaknesses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And listen, don't criticize, because if you start criticizing, your team's not going to open up. Weaknesses come from inside and they're not good. You want to take those weaknesses and figure out the system to make them strength.
Okay.
Or eliminate them, or how can we neutralize it, or who can I delegate to make that huge? Okay. And O, opportunities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round robin. Opportunities usually come outside and they're good. Have we gone to all the senior homes near us to talk about our office, what we do? Are we in schools? There's so much you can do. You have no idea. And the smaller the town, the more you can do. It's very tough for me in the city of Chicago to just call up ABC. Hey, I want to come on TV tonight. A smaller town, you got a better chance of getting visibility. There's positives and all kinds of things, good and bad. So, and then T stands for threats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round robin of threats. Threats usually come from outside. They're not good. What can we do to stop the threat, neutralize it, or eliminate it? Would be that your biggest competition is opening up in your building. There's a DSO opening up next door. So strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. And remember, do it in a purple cow wow way. And he's wearing his Harvard business hat.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Harvard Business School.
Yeah.
And you got it at a very high level. And then, if I never read Harvard Business Review, and Dennis, you know, you got to read all the demo.
Right.
You know, there's all kinds of great dental journals. Journal of ADA, International Journal of Perio Restorative. But get your business journals. Here's Success Magazine. I not only get it, I pay for a subscription to every one of my team members in my office and in the PIC group. They get this. And I know when they get it because I'll get some texts. Wow, what a great article today. That was awesome, blah, blah, blah. You should be reading dental economics.
Right.
Period.
Bob, do you get Inc?
The Profitable Dentist
magazine. There you go. Do you get Inc magazine? INC, Inc, like Incorporated? I'm a big fan of Inc magazine. It's all about small business, and you know they'll have the Inc 500 or the Inc 5000. But I like it in that it keeps your head in that working on your business mindset as opposed to working in your business. There you go. Great magazine. They have a lot of online content, and there is almost not a day that goes by I don't read some. I've found that I don't read something from Inc magazine.
Yes,
some little tidbit, and but it's very good if you're a small business person, which. You know, 86% of practice owners are dentists, and, you know, dentists are small business people, whether they like it or not. So real quick, so Purple Cow.
I bet you didn't expect me to have Inc sitting right there.
Oh, yeah. Anybody who understands an HBR, love it, gotten it for years. It's a little bit of a long read.
And most importantly, got to have the Profitable Dentist magazine.
Thank you for that. Yes.
But the title. Profitable Dentist.
Right.
Hello, am I missing something? And because I read Harvard Business Review, I learned about the STU. The STU stands for satisfy the customer, the patient, and everything you do. It's all about team, going the extra mile, and I love the word and the wow factor in all that you do. So do a SWOT, do a STU. Then if you get really comfortable with yourself, have your team do a personal SWOT, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. I carry around with me, we did this 2 years ago, my weaknesses, starting to get beat up a little bit, but I carry my weakness sheet.
Okay.
Time management, follow through, procrastination. There's ADD. Listening.
Right.
But I let my team go to town, and I knew what was coming. But
good reminder. Yeah.
I look at that all the time, so I can do better. So on the third one, you got SWOT, you got STU, and the thing that's going to sort of probably be tough to do are team building exercises, but you can do them. The one that's really fun when you're all together is something called the snake. If you want to have a blast, when you're done with this, go to YouTube, put in the snake. It's a blast. But what you could do sort of now, don't have time to go into it, but it's an exercise. I think I have the app. It's an exercise where you put stickers on your head and get the app Heads Up. And
Heads
it's
up.
a
Okay.
very simple thing to do, and it's a great team building thing
Huh.
that you can do right now that will be so much fun. You literally have no idea. I'm looking for something here really quick if I can find it. There we go. All right. So something we talked about on the third one, you know, when I coach, I look up websites and Google reviews right away.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great time, peeps. Remember, you're in business. Patients are going to judge you. I don't care if they're 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, 80 on what your website looks like.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a great website, this is a great time to review it. And yes, I know there's people that are going to be strapped for cash, but if you've got some extra money, this is a great time to begin investing. And the second you're back, you've got to have current pictures. You've got to have video.
Mm-hmm.
One of my biggest pet peeves, and I hope I don't offend anybody, is when I look at a website and it'll go, and by the way, I hate the word staff. It's team, people,
Mm-hmm.
team.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it'll go team or staff, and then there'll be one picture and the other ones will be blank, coming soon, coming soon,
Yeah.
coming soon. Or I go to the dentist, bio, coming soon. Or it's a website from 20 years ago. I hate to be critical, but people go to your website first. And
well, they do. Well, right now, 65% of new patients find their new doctor, their new dentist online. 65%.
Yep.
And so you're and in this new world of social distancing, you know, I have to wonder how much of that goes up. So if your online presence, how you look, I mean, your office can look great. It can be a palace, but you know, if patients aren't coming to it, it really doesn't matter. You just,
yes.
you know, have the most beautiful office that, you know, no new patients come to.
Yes. And something that's huge is the power of video.
Okay.
We talked about this really quick. Video engages people 1,200 times greater than text. 1,200 times greater. That's huge. You should have an updated website, you know, with sort of like a video movement when you come on. There should be a video about you right away on the front page. Hi, everybody. You know, it's Dr. Steve Parker, and you know, this is our office, and here's my philosophy and that sort of stuff. You know, it shouldn't be very long, so you engage, but you blow people away, and you should have a good presence. Make sure you got a makeup artist there. Make sure your hair is done. I need a haircut. I want to be in that business, right? Coming whenever stuff is relaxed.
They're going to be overloaded, aren't they?
Dress in colors that, you know, if you're not good at dressing, wear colors that you look good in. Ask your team or whatever. So video. We'll come to something in a second with video, which has been my biggest return on investment, and it's about the cheapest thing I can ever do. We'll come to that in a sec. It's huge. And as many times as I teach it, though, human nature, people just don't do things. And we'll come to it in a sec. I want to just finish up with the Zoom things. Do a third, fourth, fifth Zoom meeting. You should look at your goals. What are your goals? I hear dentists go, I want to make 20% more next year. Then I'll talk to them next year. Well, we broke even.
Right.
Goals are usually not achieved for several reasons. And there's so many great books on goals. The one and only Brian Tracy has some great books on goals. And, but one of the things with goals is people will go, I'm going to do it. Well, you got to do more than just verbalizing it. You got to write it down. And it's goals is working chapter, I think, number 11 in my upcoming book on management. But one of the things that people fail is to get the method to achieve the goal. All right, you want to do 20, and make sure it's a realistic goal. I'm going to triple my production. No, you're not in a year. 20%, absolutely doable. Who wouldn't want to make 20% more? And figure out the method. Sit down with your team. All right, we got to do 20% more. How are we going to do it? What's the method? We got to look at fee structures here. If you're heavy on insurance, have you negotiated with the insurance company? What are your fee-for-service patients? And who are they? Most dentists have not raised their fees in years. It's unbelievable. And let me tell you, people, you go to a car dealer, I want to buy that Audi. And man, I can't do it right now. You come back a year later, The price is not going to be what it was a year ago.
Right.
It's going to be the new price. And, you know, you go to the grocery store a year from now, it's not going to be the same price it was in 1945. Raise your fees. And if you're uncomfortable raising your fees, talk to me. And you shouldn't be uncomfortable in raising your fees. Let me tell you, people, we bust our butts in dentistry. And when I did my specialty training, I did the medical rotations, I discovered right away, we work physically and mentally hard in dentistry. We work in an area the size of a baseball, and we got to get it right. And I'll never forget, put a patient to sleep for a belly procedure and my anesthesia rotation, and you know, residents prepped everything. Surgeon walked in, was in there for 25 minutes, walked out, turned to the chief resident, you close, I'll see you later, we'll go over the case. I was like, wow. And that patient is not going to come back and go, my scar is off by a 0.5 millimeter. Can you adjust it? We don't get it. If we're off by a 0.5 millimeter in dentistry, somebody complains. We work hard. And my biggest dream is to have a CEO of a dental insurance company in the chair to watch his or her face when things are rejected or what the fee is. Right. They're in business. They're there to make money. And we as dentistry put up with it.
Yep.
We should all go on strike for 3 weeks so the media takes note and insurance companies should increase. So raise your fees. Look at this. And what you know, and there's so many things in PBR. Brand. It's called USP in business, people. Unique selling proposition.
Right.
Figure out what do you do better than anybody else. And we talked about this earlier. When I go to websites, and again, it's not offensive, but we went to the best schools. We got the best team. We do the best this. We got the best office, the best equipment. We do CEREC. We do lasers. We do Invisalign. We do intraoral hemorrhoidectomies. Well, so does everybody else. What do you do better than anybody else? You figure that out along with your why, and you're going to start getting case acceptance that's off the charts. Trust me. And again, learn. This is the time. Didn't think I was going to talk about this, but learn what DISC is. DISC. It's a personality profile. And if you know that personality profile system, you can never be what you're not, but you can engage people better. Here's a 20-second lesson on DISC. D stands for driver personality. I don't talk politics, but the example I use is Donald Trump. It's my way or the highway. You know, all right, let's go. And you got a driver, you got to move a little bit. Let's maximize time. Let's get this done today. And you're talking their language, okay? And Simon, what's his name, from America's Got Talent. All right, stop the music. You stay. Right. Goodbye.
Right.
My way or the highway. Then there's I for interactive or expressive. Jim Carrey, Dolly Parton, me. And when I'm not under stress, expressive personality. Wow, when we put those veneers, your smile is going to illuminate. When you see pictures, you're going to be blown away. Then there's S, which is S is for amiable or steady relator. Sort of saw the change in my voice tone. I use the Pope as an example. And I don't care what religion you are. I'm not Catholic, but I love the Pope. He's the sweetest, most engaging guy. Here's a trivia fact. You all know he was a bouncer when he was younger in a bar. Figure that one out. But he's amiable. They can be slow decision makers, you know. That's a big case treatment plan. You need time to think about it. It's okay. We can answer questions. And then the C stands for calculating or Mr. Spock. Most of them wear glasses. They're computer programmers. And I want you to know, Jim, when we do the preparations, we're going to be 0.07526 microns up against the tooth. And I'd like to give you the literature to show how this works. So if you know DISC, you can communicate with your patient. Something else that is huge, 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 huge when you do your Zoom conference. About 3-4 weeks ago, I decided one of my team members or anybody we coach, someone in the office has to become the ICC for Infection Control Coordinator. And that is something that is going to be huge.
Yeah.
And in my office, it happens to be Vanessa. She's perfect for it. She's analytical. She loves this stuff. Uh, she has like a 9-page agenda. She was actually, we had some emergency. She was in the office all day yesterday and the day before, making sure every system is in place, everything we need to do, signing things, making sure things work. We cleaned countertops off. We made sure we ordered. Never thought I would have covers for my mice and little things like that. So when we come back, boom, it's there. We don't have to worry about it once we're back.
Okay.
Do it now to lead the curve. And she's going to be a video on the front page of our website, period. The other thing, figure out with your team, pay your administrators this, and if you haven't applied for the EIDL and the PPP, please do it. Your administrators, I don't know, I with my ADD, I couldn't do what they do, but this is huge, people. When you come back, and I know there's some uncertainty in Illinois, our stay-at-home just got extended, but yet we don't know about dentistry. Yet in Illinois, they approved that dog grooming can open up. It's an essential business. Dog grooming. Anyhow, so with that said, when you come back, you're going to have bills you didn't have before for PPE. Your first 4, 6, 8, 9 weeks need to be production heavy. So work with your team. Sit down with your administrators, office manager, look at the books. Take the exams right now. I hate to say this, push them out. Take everything production right now. And I heard Roger Levin come up with this, and there's times, I've known Roger for 34 years. There's times I'll tell him right to his face, I totally disagree. Please, where'd you come up with that? But he came up with one that I agree with. I'm not sure which one of us came up with it first. I'll give him credit. Grab a great temp hygienist that you know, and if you got one hygienist, double it. You got 2 docs, double your hygiene right away. You're going to increase your production. You're going to be on roller skates, maybe. I personally have more of a fee-for-service practice, but you got to do that. And every office we coach, I'm like, you got to do this. And if you don't have a good temp hygienist, start networking, ask around, figure out who it is. You've got to be heavy on production when you come back. The other thing you got to do when you do a Zoom meeting, this is the world of social media today.
Right.
What we're doing right now didn't exist during 9/11. It didn't exist during the Great Depression. It didn't exist during World War II and Civil War. We're able to exchange information quickly and get it out there, which is just huge. You've got to be active on your social media platforms, period. And that's a whole other story. But if you don't have it, I feel every office should have their ORE, office rep extraordinaire. They're the ones that does your social media. They're the ones that goes out there, goes into nursing homes. You know, hi, I'm Kristen, and I represent, Dr. Parker, and we have a great office, and we cater to seniors. I'd like him to come in and talk about what we're doing and that sort of stuff. So that's a huge position. You as dentists don't have time to do it. It's no different than Jeff Bezos isn't on a factory line. He doesn't pull the stuff. He doesn't package it. He sits with his team and figures it out and delegates it. You need an ORE, office rep extraordinaire, who's also your social media coordinator. Mine happens to be Kristen. When we coach a team, we make sure we assign one. And that's a whole other story because so many teams just don't have the right disc profile for the right position. But there's so many fun things you can do. On Monday, grab one of your employees and get pictures of what they're doing at home. Make a collage of it and post it. I had one of my hygienists come on live and talk about what you should be doing at home with hygiene. Again, live and video is huge. On my own personal sites, I come on live every couple days. And tomorrow, I'm coming on with my new infection control coordinator, my new ICC, Vanessa. And we're going to talk about what we're doing to lead the curve, being ahead. And you can do fun things. when you go live, if you don't know what Be Live TV is, look it up. Be Live, very easy to use. You can put a title. When I went live yesterday, I streamed. My team and I miss all of you dearly, and it streams across. You can bring guests in with Be Live. So your social media presence is absolutely huge, 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 huge. When we're on video, so I don't forget, here's going to be your biggest return on investment. Whenever we do a procedure, just to go backwards for a second, hope I'm not boring you.
No.
In addition to
keep an eye on time, but no, you got lots of meat here.
In addition to Zoom, you should have a group text. You can see all my team members up there. So in addition to Zoom, we exchange all kinds of information all the time. We have rules. You can't text past 9 o'clock. You can't text past a certain time in the morning. And on the weekends, we try to sort of keep it down. But whenever we work on a patient, that night, we have a little card that has the name of the person and the problem, and we call them that night. And as many times as I teach that, it's not done. But I came up with something maybe 3 years ago. Look it up. It's in dental economics. It's called the triple P VC, or the PIC post procedural video check.
Okay.
We call the patient the night before, and the next, let me see if I can find something really quick here. The next morning, right after huddle, I talk about what the patient said the night before, and then the second everybody's out of the huddle, I'm looking for something here. My two primary assistants and I grab a phone stabilizer, and we grab the thing. We want to make it less than a minute, something like this. Hey, Susan, it's Dr. Bob Pick, and I'm here with part of my surgical assisting team, Coach and Sonia. And I appreciate you grabbing the phone last night, and never fun to sit where you're sitting, but everything went so smooth from my end yesterday. A little bit of tenderness there for a day or so is going to be normal. We just wanted to check on you. Any problems day or night? My number is 24/7, 630-777-8747. This is my personal cell, 773-230-5211. Please feel free to text back. Let me know you're doing okay. We send that purposely at 11:30 a.m. I already have like a set text, takes 2 seconds to do. There's times I assign it to others to do. They'll grab the text, change the name. Hey, Susan, it's please see the video. And we send it at 11:30 on purpose for this reason. Here's the typical response a week later. Oh my God, I was blown away when you called. I've never, ever had a physician dentist video message me the next day. I was at work. 11:30 is right before lunch. I not only looked at it 4 times, I showed it to all of my colleagues. And you got a new patient that's going to be calling you next week. You blow the person away. 1 in 10 will send you a video message back. Oh my God, no words. And it's the triple PVC, PIC post procedure video check. It's the cheapest thing you can do. It's the cost of a phone stabilizer. It takes 5 minutes, and its return on investment is off the chart.
Sure. One new patient, and you paid for, I don't know, you paid for a year's worth.
Yes.
Awesome.
And when we send it right now, I'm sort of on one side of the screen. You do it sideways, right, horizontal. And my one assistant is on the other side, and I'll be like, it's Dr. Pick and Gosha, and due to COVID-19, we're on each ends of the screen for social distancing, but we want to check on you. It's a mind blow. So triple PVC, power video, huge, 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 huge.
You have got, again and again, I'm watching time here. We're a little bit over, but I wanted to make sure you got that. You have a lot of things that I think practice owners would want, and which is one of the reasons I reached out to you, is you kind of cover the gamut. If I know it's the PIC group, but if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Sure. The best way is simply just email me, Dr. Pick, DRPICK, at thepicgroup.com.
Okay.
And, you know, what really told me the PBR worked is right before I put it out to Dentistry Today, I want to mention names. Someone called me, said, can you rewrite this thing? He was blown away, started doing it for his business. Can you rewrite this just for business? And I'm like, I don't have time, Paul. He goes, please. About 2 weeks later, I rewrote it. I get a phone call. Hey, Paul, hey, Paul, what's going on? He goes, Bob, I got Jack Canfield on the phone with me from the Chicken Soup for Soul books. And he's writing a book. He wants business leaders to write stuff. Your PBR belongs in the book. I thought he was kidding. He wasn't kidding. And I'm chapter 8 in Jack's book, and The Art of Success. And anything Jack touches goes crazy.
Right.
And
right.
when Jack put it in his book, I knew it was for real. And do it now on the Zoom conference. Do it. So when you come back, so far ahead in a purple cow wow way, period. I know we're going over. I love everybody. You kick some butt. And I want to leave you with a great quote that I found from Ben Franklin.
Okay.
Oh,
I love it. Yes.
You are planning to fail. And when you do a Zoom conference,
look at that.
Questions on everybody. Have fun with it. And I'll leave you with this. One of my pet peeves, and this is how you get production, is when a dentist goes, there's a little break on the filling. Let's watch it. What are you watching?
Right.
Broken fillings don't get better. They get worse. Take the time to tell the patient they need the treatment so you can pick butt. Period.
If nothing else, Bob, your enthusiasm. So here's what I would suggest. Maybe if you're a practice owner that struggles with, just getting the day going, watch this every morning from, when you're starting to get back, and just get yourself pumped up. And it really is. There's a lot of great ideas, a lot of great meat. And
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on. I know you're a busy guy. You're very much in demand, and you do a lot of things. Like I said, you were one of the first people I reached out to. So I wanted to make sure that I just let you know, we appreciate our audience. There are a lot of practice owners out there who are struggling right now. And I think you've given them a lot to think about, and a lot of tactical things they can go literally start doing tomorrow.
Thank you.
So with that, practice owners, again, Dr. Robert Pick, Bob Pick, the PIC Group, and we'll put your Dr. Pick at thepicgroup.com. We'll put your email in the show notes, so anybody who wants to reach out to you can. And so with that, we're going to draw this one to a close. Dr. Pick, always good to see you. All right.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Awesome. Till next time, practice owners, hang in there and do the things you need to do to come back stronger. So see you next time.